Yeah, so I believe, mortgage applications are, an all-time low. And, like you said, and then, the sensationalism of the real estate crash, those headlines obviously go a long way. People, fear porn. But
Hmm.
what I would always look at, and whether you're in a bull market, a bear market, no matter what it is location, location, location. And I know that's said over and over, but guys, there's nothing like if this country is going to exist, think about it. You had a real estate market during World War One. You had a stock market during World War Two. You had a real estate market during World War Two. So not saying, not trying to scare y'all if we go into any type of World War Three, but the crazier the world gets, it seems that the asset classes that survive the craziness, one will always be real estate. And that's coming from me, of more of a stock and crypto guy. But, I think you would be crazy right now to not be diversified into real estate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of the asset class, but I'm also a realist, right? And
Mhm.
so, when you're just looking around at the landscape, I think everybody just needs to take a deep breath and realize that we've had a whole lot of distortion in a whole lot of ways, but this is going to bring a whole lot of opportunity for those that are smart, those that are patient, and those that understand what's really going on. And
Mhm.
I don't want to sit here and say that I am, but what I will say is that I've been through the 2008 crisis, right? Like as a millennial, that was my big one. And it kind of caught me by surprise, like everybody else. So the one thing that I have done ever since then is I promised myself that that would never happen again. And so I have studied market cycles. You'll see it all behind me. I have been immersed in it, probably to an unhealthy degree for a long time. But but only because I really wanted to understand it. And so when all of this distortion started happening, well, it changed a little bit. None of this is surprising to me at all. I'm chill. I'm calm. I expected it, because I think that this is our generation's chance to go grab some generational wealth and to be able to do some things, because you're going to have an asset class that's going to move around. I mean, look, I know you're a big crypto guy, and I'm going to have a couple questions for you. But
Mhm.
bag holders, right, is a big phrase. Stuff like that. Every asset class has its bag holders at the end of a
Mhm.
cycle, whether it's real estate or it's crypto or it's stocks or it's anything. So I think people need to realize there's always somebody that bought right at the end, right at the highest possible price, and probably won't be able to sell for that. It
Mhm.
it doesn't mean the world is over, not only for them but also for the asset class, right? Um, but also, we after the great financial crisis, we had zero interest rates for like 10 years. And then all of a sudden, like that, right, we raised them to the Fed funds rate over 5%. But 500 basis points in basically what, 15 months or so. And that's going to, it's supposed to slow down demand. That's all that the Federal Reserve can do. But they can't do anything about the supply side. And we should probably be focused a little bit about that as well, because the great financial crisis was so frightening to the entire industry that basically we stopped building, we stopped developing, and we're actually sort of undersupplied
Mhm.
in a lot of ways. But you know, I love what you just said. Just to finish off this thought, I love the fact that everything's going to be the end of the world, right? Well, I love United States real estate for one basic fact. This market class by itself almost took down the world's economy in 2008. Just
Mhm.
this asset class and everything we did with it. Well, it's too big to fail. The United States government is too far in. They cannot let the United States housing market fail, so it won't. And so if I'm picking a place to be in some way, shape, or form, I want to be a part of that, because if it goes down, the US is going down. The
Mhm.
end. Like,
Ye
it's simple.
Yeah, and I've kind of, and look, anybody tuning in, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Drop your questions, anything real estate, any topics, drop it in the chat, and Chris and I will answer. So, yeah, so going back to '08, what you'll notice if you looked at the median household price from '08, and you look at it actually from right now. So even if you bought at the top of the market, say you are a sucker, you bought at the top of the market at '08, and you held to right now, you're actually in the green. Now, some could say, hey, that's the dangers of inflation. But I would argue, like you're saying, that that is actually the power of real estate investing. And the problem with, most of my friends that invest in real estate is that they look at this asset class the way they will look at stocks or crypto or gold or silver. And they're not understanding that, like, you're sitting there looking at your stock portfolio and refreshing it every day. You're not going to go to your house and constantly get it reappraised. This isn't how this asset class works. And like you said, as long as this country exists, which, I don't know about you, Chris, I'm betting on America. I'm always going to bet on America, that this is going to be the number one. Exactly. This is going to be the number one. This is going to be the number one asset class for most Americans to create generational wealth because of the 30-year mortgage, just because of the entire tax system is designed to benefit real estate investors.
Yeah, that's definitely true, right? You want to be in the assets that the wealthy people are in, right? But I think it's just really it's simpler. In today's day and age of like the smartphone, everybody can get on apps like Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever. And they can look at the price or the Zestimate or the estimate of what their house is worth today, right? The gamification of pricing in every asset class is like off the charts. So people always want to know what their stuff is worth. They want to know what their stuff is worth. And that's totally fair. And I think that's great. And look, the United States, the way our system is designed is you've got to own assets in order to get ahead.